YouTube, it is finally here, the grand finals, the first match between Coalition Francophone and Kampfgruppe Kempf, KGK versus CFR. KGK is on the attack for the first match. CFR will be attacking the second match. As always, YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe. It's taken so long to get to the Season 3 grand finals, and boy, oh boy, it's going to be a great game played on Dornworth 04. As always, for the first minute, I'm going to make sure both teams have been assigned to the right side. So you can see all KGK are there and Coalition Francophone all there. We might have had a few disconnects, a few late joiners, so I'll just keep an eye on it for now. This is set to be an amazing match. Coalition Francophone, Season 2 champions, are returning. Can they get the back-to-back ladder victories, or will KGK cause an upset and be crowned victors? Both these teams are some of the best players in the Post Scriptum community. What an amazing opportunity these players have. And oh my god, how fun has it been to watch throughout? We've had one disconnect, but it's fine. It looks like we had a disconnect happen on both teams, so we'll just keep an eye on that. So, KGK is going to be the first on the attack. We are on Dornworth 04. It is the Americans versus the Germans on the defense. The difference here is, though, this is a Chapter 1 American faction, so they can utilize the superior British tanks. And already you can see with KGK, they've got a MSP and Logitruck going outside the main road. Two Shermans. Also a transport vehicle with Bro, Nissan, and Nizzy heading north. Cromwell behind. MSP looking to go north. Commander car is stacked with squad leaders, no doubt. And it looks like a Bren carrier is being manned as well. Let's head over to see the defense and how the defense is going to be lining up. Quickly head on over there. Coalition Francophone are one of the most aggressive teams on the defense, so let's see how they play out. You can see Keemstar below me and Canna Peach. The starting phase is over, so already we've got a big, I believe that was a Sherman shot, an amazing shot there with a Sherman early on. That is two amazing shots with a Sherman early on. Takes out 3 individuals there. Boromir going down early. So let's just open up the map and see how the formation is for Coalition Francophone. You can see Squad 2 heading north. They've got a small Squad 8 going on to the rear of the cap. Squad 6 and 1 going to the south. Squad 4 moving out to the west. They've also got a 88 built on point. Splatter here, building that 88, using those 1,000 supplies you get early on, looking to get some kills immediately. Mr. Shim goes down there. Excellent work by the tanks already from KGK, utilizing those tanks very early on. You can see them just outside the main base, firing there. KGK, I imagine this is their logistics team, getting mortars ready. We'll just zoom in here. We've got Nickelman, Conra. Yep, mortars going down. So if you're new to this tournament, there is a limit on mortars. You're only allowed to have 4 mortars at any time, not including infantry hand mortars that you might get in your kit. But logistics built mortars, you can only have 4. If you want to get more, you have to dig down your previously built mortars. You cannot have more than 4 mortars built at a singular time. So we've got a big infantry Squad 1 slowly pushing out with that MSP coming out from the main base. We've got Commander Shackle dropping off a couple of infantry. We've still got Coalition Francophone. They got theirs. We're still waiting for one last person to join for KGK. Cats gets down there by Canna Peach and Keeper. Good shots by them, taking out Cats as their 2-man going for the flank. They was looking to get a northern flank there. We've got a MSP in the north. Let's just head over to the north from KGK. They place an MSP all the way in the north. And they've also got a 1-man tank crew currently. Dalen, no doubt he's going to pick up Gotts here. Gotts drove the MSP. He's running towards the Comron. Polarize is platoon commander for Coalition Francophone in his command car there. The little cool wagon sneaking through the trees. He might have heard the tank. And he's going to run right in front of a KGK infantry squad if he's not careful. We'll just be on board. Will Polarize see this infantry, or will he get taken out here? Yeah, Polarize goes down, so the Coalition Francophone already, their commander is going to be out of the fight. Early on, That's 10 tickets for that commander car as well. 2 tickets for killing the commander. So that's a ticket advantage already going towards KGK. Time on the board, 40 minutes, plenty of time. And look at this big forest battle going on. We've got mortars being exchanged here. That 4-man mortar crew firing on both sides. The tanks, the Shermans slowly coming down that main road there. You can see them coming down that main road. Coalition Francophone trying to hold back this tidal wave of infantry, mortars, and tanks pushing straight in from the west. Very strong push. It's going to be another minute before German armor arrives on the scene. The German main base is so far away from the first cap, it takes them at least 4 to 5 minutes, depending on the tanks. A little bit quicker for a Puma to get on scene. 2 Shermans working very good here, side by side. Culane and Yule, Mr. Blonde and Silver, 2 two-man Sherman crews. This is what you see a lot of competitive teams do. They usually have their tanks working as a close-knit squad. They don't have their tanks running off one man in. They have their tanks working as a close-knit unit, usually with infantry support nearby. These competitive games are completely different to the kind of games you see on the public servers. Heading back north, we've got a tank marker going down. Unsure whose tank marker is. We had a disconnect from Coalition Francophone, so both teams are down to 38 versus 38 at the moment. Let's have a look. It is a Puma, I believe, this is going to be. We've got a Coalition Porus and... No, it's not. It's a 232 Porus and an NRVN. How do I pronounce that name? In the 232, KGK with a big squad coming in here. They're pushing down from the northern side of the map, slowly moving down. They've taken out a couple of early scouts from the defense of Coalition Francophone, so their presence is known, but they're going to keep moving down from the north. Meanwhile, towards the cap, coming in directly in from the west, the Shermans and the infantry from KGK are doing a good push through. They've broken through the first bundle of trees here, but look at this. Look at this flank coming down. We've also got artillery dropping there. That artillery misplaced. Stuka coming down. I imagine that Stuka's going to be right on top of the Shermans. One Sherman goes down just like that. You've always got to listen out for those dive bombers. And look at this. We mentioned his name in the pre-build-up. Mamard. Mamard is an extraordinary logistics player. And he's taken out, along with the rest of his little team here, he's taken out the 4-man mortar crew. Nichols, Sky, Bramver, and the other person gave up. The 4-man mortar crew has been taken out. So that means KGK either need to go in there and reclaim those mortars, or they're going to have to blow up their own mortars, because they won't be able to do any more mortars until they're gone. That is how the rules work. You have to get rid of the mortars before you can build more. Nevertheless, KGK is still looking strong here on the western flank. They've been pushing through well. They've gained a lot of ground here. They have lost one Sherman. Second Stuka coming in now. Looks like he's aimed for the Sherman or the MSP maybe. It was aimed at the fob, sorry, it is a fob in here. Was aimed at the fob, slightly off the mark, also just narrowly missing a rally. So KGK is still looking strong here, pushing through the west, gaining map control slowly. Tank support has arrived for Coalition Francophone now as well. Tank support is on scene. We're at 37 minutes. We have a Panther and a flat gun slightly behind. Panther, heavy German armor, and with that flak so good at killing German infantry. There we go, just moving into the right team. KGK slowly pushing through, but with that German armor now arriving on the scene, things are going to get a little bit harder for the KGK now. KGK did do the smart move of not utilizing their heavy tanks at the very beginning, though. They're utilizing their small, lighter tanks so they can bait out what the Germans have. Find what the Germans are going to be using. Are the Germans going to be using the King Tiger at the beginning? Are they going to be using the Panther like they brought out? They're using their smaller tanks, a little bit faster on speed at the beginning, a little bit easier to support infantry, and also if they get blown up, it's not a massive ticket loss, and then you can react to whatever the Germans have brought out themselves. Let's head over to the north to where Squad 2 was. Squad 2, not having a fun time over here. They try to push in for the north, but that 232 here with Porus and did a good job over here blocking back. Ooh, a bazooka narrowly missing the 232 there. 80 shot missing. Wasted Penguins doing his best, keeping his head down. as that armored car drives by. We've also still got that tank in the north, that Cromwell. I'm surprised that Cromwell hasn't moved further down. I imagine that Cromwell is maybe just holding the perimeter in the north, making sure no tanks come down in the north from Coalition Francophone. So that's probably what that Cromwell's been tasked to do. Meanwhile, Stewart and Sherman still trying to support their infantry here. Both very weak tanks. Excellent shot from that Stewart there, right into the window of the storehouse there. They're going to have to watch out, though. That Panther is on stream. One shot from this Panther, and that's going to be able to take out that Stewart. Even the flat truck there is enough to take out the lightly armored Stewart. So that Stewart is going to have to be careful. Nevertheless, it's doing good support here. It's helping the infantry. The mortars from KGK are still under siege. You've got Piper over here, Mamard, Clem, still holding down these mortars. KGK are doing their best to get these mortars back. You can see Mamard here. He is a pioneer, I think. Is he a pioneer? Yeah, pioneer's got that MP40. Devastating weapon, one of the best weapons in the game. Clem has been taken out, but he's trying to run back on scene. Heading back now, KGK continue their push. Time on board, 34th minute. Tickets are still very even. And the Panther is surging forward now. Lucky shot. And Edmund plowing forward. Stewart is going to be the first one to go down. Engine straight, just chewing straight through that light armor. The Panther and Stewart can do nothing against the Panther here. Next shot goes down. The Stewart also backed off. The Sherman also backed off. You can see Piper there trying to take out the Sherman, but the Sherman just keeping itself alive. Will Piper hit the second shot? Piper narrowly missing the second shot. Sherman stays alive by the skin of its teeth. Piper's still alive. That Sherman is at about 20% health, though. No doubt that's going to retreat back to main base and get a revive quickly. Piper out of rockets now. Luckily for that Sherman, Piper is going to be kicking himself for missing that second shot there. Panther still maintaining the forward position now. Came forward to help punch a hole through that offensive that KGK was having on the western side. You can see the flat cannon also firing overhead now. Shooting straight towards Jam Falcon there in the distance, who just spawned on that rally. And that fob nearby. This Panther is going to be a devastating asset that KGK need to deal with here. Heavily armored. There are currently no tanks on the field for KGK that can take this out in a frontal engagement. You can see the Panthers actually pushing forward to see if it can finish off that Sherman. I think the Sherman's just passed behind the trees, open up the map. Yeah, it's just gone around that bend in the corner, so it can no longer be taken out by the Panther. The Cromwell in the north, meantime, is starting to push down. Oh, we can actually hear a second tank. Is that a second Panther? It is. We've got MDGS and Nightshades in a second Panther heading up towards the north. It's going to engage with that Cromwell. Cromwell against Panther is actually... Not that easy engagement. The Cromwell can beat the Panther. It's got APS ammo, but the Panther has that heavy armor on the front. It's got a more powerful gun. So that Cromwell is going to have to be careful. It can beat the Panther, but it needs to get the first shot. It needs to ambush the Panther. You can see the Cromwell knows there's a tank nearby. Shot from the Panther. The Panther actually just killed its own teammate, maybe. Or was that the Cromwell? You can see the Panther in the distance there. Just see its turret glimpsing over the top of those bush rows. It might get a shot here on the Cromwell. Cromwell's moving forward further. Squad leader Mad Fox really close to loser here. Oh, and a trade there. Loser and Mad Fox trade. And you can hear that Panther. That Panther is pushing forward to the Cromwell. Panther has eyes on one shot straight into the front of the Cromwell. The Cromwell's in trouble now. Cromwell needs to relocate. It's not going to win a straight fight with the Panther. It's looking. He does not know. Second shot takes it down to about 30% health. The next shot is going to be finishing off this Cromwell. Oh, a good engine shot for the Cromwell. Can it get around the corner? Oh, he just got around the corner of the barn in time, and it has disabled the engine of the Panther. It has, using that APS ammo, disabled the shot, but look at the Panther. The Panther's ready. It's got his turret ready for the corner. Boom, one shot straight on the Cromwell as he poked around that corner. Good attempt by the Cromwell, but it was never going to win a straight fight with a Panther. KGK infantry have tried to flank around a little bit to the south of Cap. They keep pushing through the western side here. They have regained control of their mortars. They've regained control of their mortar pit. They're pushing around to the south. Pushing in on the west here. Good work. We'll just head over to the mortars. So the 4-man mortar team by KGK is back operational. How many mortars do they have going so far? They've got a 3-man. We've got Con coming over as well, 4-man. Tank-wise, we've got Tin on the Logics team. We've got that Sherman with Mr. Blonde and Silver still alive there. What tank do we have going over here? I believe it's going to be a Hellcat or a Wolverine. Hellcat, one of my favorite tanks of the game. All about speed, agility, and ambushing. Powerful gun, but the biggest asset about the Hellcat is that speed. If it can utilize its speed on a big open map like this, it can maybe flank some German tanks and take them by surprise a little bit. You can see the Panther over there. Panther putting shots down range here. Well-positioned Panther. These Panthers are going to be the dying grace for KGK. They really do need to deal with these Panthers. So far, they've just been hammering the infantry as they try to approach on the western front here. They even need to get some artillery, some AT, or some bombing runs called in on these Panthers, or even call out a Firefly. Long-range Firefly against the Panther is a good engagement for them, as long as they get the first shot and they land some successful shots. You just hover over the battlefield. Let's just get a little bit bigger eyes on this at the moment. So you can see squad 6, 1, and 4 are holding that western and south flank for Coalition Francophone on the red team. Got a squad leader 8 there on the northeast, holding back, and below us we've got a squad also pushing out to the west, being a little bit more offensive here on the attack. And this is usually how the defending team operates in competitive games. Unlike a lot of public server matches where you see the defending team hold back, they sit on cap, they wait for the attack to come to them. In competitive matches, you see attack versus attack. It's not defenders versus attackers. It's attackers versus the attackers. The defending team, usually in competitive matches, is heavily aggressive. They don't wait for the attacks. They go find where the attacks are coming from. They counteract and they push. And that is what Coalition Francophone and KGK have both done successfully throughout the tournament. And it's what Coalition Francophone currently is doing in this tournament, in this matchup here. Time is slowly running out. 27 tickets. Big ticket lead starting to open up also for Coalition Francophone here. Almost a 60 ticket lead building up for Coalition Francophone. KGK need to alter their tactics a little bit. They need to start bringing out some big, heavy hitters with their tanks. They need to start taking out these Panthers. They need to start mobilizing their infantry again. Their infantry is starting to break apart a little bit. You see the infantry for KGK is starting to get a little bit spread, a little bit thinned. Whereas previously those operating as a very strong, connected, heavy unit, now they've broken off. They're starting to thin out a little bit. They have brought out a Churchill, the biggest tank the Allies can currently call on. Churchill very good at taking out the Panthers, that heavy armor. Although with a smaller gun, it's still going to need some very accurate shots to take out the Panthers. An MSP just drove right by the tanks there with Mahmoud. How did that happen? The MSP from Mahmoud just drove right by the Churchill and Hellcat. That's absolutely incredible. I'm honestly surprised neither of them spotted the MSP as it literally drove by them. A little bit of miscommunication there. Mahmoud is a... what is Mahmoud? I believe he is a pioneer. He's also got AT working with him, I believe. Yeah, you can see the AT already starting to head north. Also, the commander was just dropped off. Polarized is heading up there. So, Fushi, or Mushi, is it Mushi? Mushu? Heading straight north to deal with the Hellcat and Churchill. You can see a second FOB has been built here in the north. For our new attack front, you can see that 2v2 with Porus and driving around in the north still. That 232 has been alive since the start of the game, and it's been devastating to any infantry that I was trying to push down here on the north. This Churchill and Hellcat working in unison here. Churchill's going to be the one taking the first hit, which it should. It is a land battleship. It's got a lot of armor, whereas the Hellcat is pretty much made of paper. Very lightly armored, the Hellcat. So you want the Churchill to be the first one to take the contact. So the more powerful gun but lightly armored Hellcat can then fire over the top of the Churchill. Open up the map again and you can see KGK, their western attack has completely been overwhelmed. The FOB over here, only a 7 ID, 1 squad is left on this FOB right now, and they're under a lot of pressure. You can see Boromir here with his machine guns already suppressing and getting a couple of kills there. Ben, Clem, Piper, Mr. Shim all pushing forward. They've got eyes on that FOB and they're going to be wanting to take that out. Meanwhile, KGK have flanked around to the south. They have also engaged a tank with some AT. See a Panther very low on health here. This Panther's about 40% health. It's been hit by a couple of bazookas, but it is alive and it's going to stay alive unless someone to finish it off. I don't see anyone nearby with the capabilities of taking out that Panther. Second Panther watched in the north, also with a 232. You can see that Panther retreating a little bit, maybe being ordered to fall back, knowing there's a Churchill and a Hellcat on the way. One of the crew of the Churchill has been killed. Burling making the mistake of getting out his hatch there. Also, Yule goes down there. Great shot by Keemstar. Hellcat has eyes on the Panther. He's going to have to watch out, though, because here comes Keemstar. If Keemstar gets on top, then that's it. The gunner's dead. That's it. Cullen's dead, and now the Panther gets one shot, already taking Mr. Blonde down to 50% health. Next one should finish it off if it's a well-placed shot. Taking it down to 10% health. I think Mr. Blonde, unless he can use the elevation of the land here to save him, which he can. Little bit of a misplay there by the 91st PCD squad in that Hellcat. Churchill coming forward now. Churchill looking to try support. Panther's going to drive right in front of the Churchill. Niz, I believe, is AT, or is he? No, he's actually logistics. He might suicide mine one of the Panthers here. Churchill head on with a Panther. First shot by the Churchill lands. Panther misses its shot. Niz is trying to support the Churchill. The Churchill's currently outnumbered 2-1. But will Niz take out one of the Panthers? Panther missing another shot there. And Niz suicides for the greater good. Niz takes out one of the Panthers. Can the 91st PCD squad and the Churchill finish off the second Panther? One more shot of APS might do it. Splatter. Tank crew. Can't do anything. Watching on. A bounce there by the Churchill. If the Churchill can land one more shot, this will change the tide of battle. I think the Panther's just about to get away. Churchill's a little bit too slow pushing forward. The Churchill completely saved there by Niz, though. Niz, AT Logistics, saving the Churchill. The Churchill giving chase. It's not giving up here. Menu 80, I believe. Is Menu 80? Misfire there by the Churchill, narrowly missing. No, he's not. He's a squad leader. And there he is. The Churchill got the shot. The Churchill got the shot. Both heavy tanks have gone down now for Coalition Francophone. With time, 21 minutes. Time is running out, but that does give KGK the armor advantage now. Also, that potentially means Coalition Francophone either they have no more heavy tanks or they have a Tiger. So we'll have to see. Nevertheless, this is time for KGK to capitalize. KGK need to capitalize now. Both the heavy tanks have been taken out. Dalen and Silver under fire here. Their Churchill has currently been disabled. You can see Silver repairing the engine, got it up. Churchill's only on about 50% health. Churchill's doing its best to keep itself alive. You see the Hellcat. The Hellcat also pushed forward, even though the Hellcat only has about 40, well, not even that. He's got about 20 to 10% health. This Hellcat is just risking it all to try to support the Churchill. Time is running out, though, for KGK. And I think another tank. I think I just saw Bro Neeson take out the 232 in the north. He did. Or it was Niz. The 232 finally get taken out in the north. So the Germans have no armor assets currently in play. Polarized commander here. And Musu AT. They found the location of the spawn. They're putting it under fire, but Brand Power did a good job there, taking out both Polarized and I'm sorry if I pronounce any names wrong. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. We have such a wide variety of different names. Like, I do my best. I do my best. Coalition Francophone have full control, though, over the western part of the camp. Look at this now. No pressure at all coming in from the west. With time 19 minutes on the board, KGK have tried to wrap around, but even in the south, they've been pushed all the way out. There's one rally here, but you can see Schaff already moving in to take out this rally. Rally just went offline. Schaff knows it's there. He would have heard it. He just looked at it. So KGK being reset a little bit here. A strong initial start from KGK. But it's not looking too good for them. Coalition Francophone is so solid on the defense here. Will Coalition Francophone keep their clean streak of not losing a cap? Or will KGK cause a late upset? If you watch the semi-finals, KGK won their first map on the attack by taking a capture zone with only 2 minutes left on the board. So KGK isn't a stranger to leaving it to last minute. German command car here has been abandoned. I'm not sure if KGK know it's there or if they decided to leave it there, meaning Polaroids has no means of quick transport. Either way, that's 10 tickets they're leaving alive, but it does mean that the enemy commander doesn't have a mobile spawn point for his squad leaders or a mobile radio. KGK did this approach on the west, the east, but also on the eastern side, they've been pushed out. They took out that flak truck, but even here on the west, they're having trouble breaking through. No matter the angle they approach from right now, Coalition Francophone is pushing them further and further back and spreading them thinner and thinner. Tanks slowly starting to push forward. But the Churchills arriving back on scene. Piper's nearby, though, so they're going to have to watch out Piper, who almost took out Sherman early on. Churchill spotted him, putting some machine gun fire on him. He knows there's someone there. He's going to need some HE, though. The Hellcat would actually be the best target here for Piper. He can finish off the Hellcat easier, and he gets taken out. So, Hellcat and Churchill are arriving back. There's no infantry support near them, aside from a little bit of infantry gathered in this house here. I feel like the tanks need to start grouping up with their infantry a little bit for KGK and working as a solid unit once again, like they was at the beginning of the game. They was having so much success at the very beginning, but at the moment, they're having no success at all. Their team is completely splintered with less than 17 minutes on the board now. You can just see how splintered KGK is on the attack at this point. They have no big groups of attacks coming in. They're all splintered. They do have like a encirclement trying to get around the cap, but every approach they're coming from is known of. Antonio there again on top of the Hellcat again, killing the crew of the Hellcat once again. So the Hellcat is going to have to retreat, wait for his crew to come back. Churchill starting to put some shots down onto the cap a little bit, getting a few kills on infantry. Try and suppress it, but there's no infantry for KGK to capitalize on the back of that Churchill. That Churchill is just firing for just the sake of it at this point, with no one to capitalize behind that Churchill to follow through the hole that he can punch. strong start for KGK, but it's starting to wither a little bit. 40 tickets. They have narrowed the ticket deficit by taking out those tanks. But it's not looking good for them. Time is running out. Polarized has managed to get his car back. The Hellcat drove right by him. Driving straight towards Piper. Will Piper, or Peeper, land that Panzerschreck? Ooh, just in front of the Hellcat. The Hellcat's just going to keep driving, getting out of there. He's not sticking around. Planes coming in. I imagine that might be a Stuka for the Churchill or FOB. It was, but it didn't hit anything. Tank has arrived for the Germans. Their tanks are returning back to the battle, so the advantage KGK did have for the last few minutes has now gone. Puma arriving on scene. Excellent tank for the Germans. One of the best tanks they can actually field. It's fast, it's nimble, and it has a great gun on it. And there comes the Tiger that I spoke about. One Tiger followed by a P4. Two excellent tanks there. That Churchill is going to be heavily outnumbered. The Churchill's going to have a hard time fighting that Tiger in a face-on battle. He can kill the P4 quite easily, but this Tiger, if he faces it front-on, that Churchill's going to have a hard time. You can see the Churchill and P4 working in unison, pushing down from the north. Also the Puma. Puma knows exactly where the Churchill is, and look at him getting behind it. One shot on the Churchill, no damage. Piper also with the flank here, Panzerschreck in hand. Second shot into the side of the Churchill takes it down to about 70% health. And then the Panzerschreck, ammo rack there by Piper, taking out the Churchill. KGK losing all advantage they had with armor. Their armor advantage has just been wiped off the board with a beautiful combination of tanks and infantry. Well played there. KGK are mounting attack coming in from the north, but it is heavily assaulted by infantry. Also with those tanks pushing in now, the Tiger and the P4, sandwiching the infantry between the infantry and tanks. KGK are in a very bad situation here. 13 minutes on the board. You can see the P4 there with MDGS moving in on the north. MSP in the open here with Jam Falcon and Eggman. Oh no, sorry, that's just a basic transport vehicle. They've marked the tank. They know there's a tank in the north. KGK trying to push in, but they are meeting such hard resistance here. Some good mortars coming down here, landing exactly where Coalition Francophone have a rally. Just took out one rally with Polarized, and also a German MSP goes down as well. That could be the opening KGK need to start getting on cap. Coalition Francophone just lost a defender rally and also their main defender MSP. Can KGK bulk together a big push through the rear of the cap on the eastern side? It's going to be hard for them to do. They have no tank support. They're basically behind enemy lines as well at this point. It's going to be very hard to funnel any kind of support through to them. New tanks coming out. We've got a second Churchill followed by a short barrel Sherman. See Mamad there. Mamad being a nuisance. He's taken out a logistics truck. Also a QF-60 AT gun that was being used to hammer the point. This Churchill and Sherman need to start supporting their infantry. They just need to drive towards the cap, try hammer a hole through, and get with their infantry so they can push through the eastern side. But it's already looking bad for KGK here on that big eastern front. Mortars are hammering them. German mortars are hammering KGK. The tanks arriving. The Puma now getting behind the attack coming in here. Puma's right next to a rally. Is there going to be AT spawn on that rally? There isn't. Just checking. Yeah, he joined the right team. I was just double checking. He disconnected about a couple minutes ago. Puma, lucky driving real close to infantry there that there was no AT nearby. Two bazookas can take out Puma. Well, this approach KGK had coming in from the eastern side. Look at that big mortar strike. Coalition Francophone utilizing defensive mortars very well there. Well placed. Getting a triple kill without one hit. KGK have cleared out this house on the northern approach. But they're having trouble here. Tanks for KGK with 10 minutes left. A big Panzerschreck there by Piper. A second ammo rack on a Churchill. That means KGK will only have either one more Churchill or a Firefly. That big hit there by Piper. Incredible shot. We had Bro Neeson trying to take out a couple of these German tanks. The Tiger tank is actually incredibly low on health. Tiger tank's on about 10% health, you can see. Edmund there is repairing the engine. Bro Neeson almost took it out. Unfortunate there for Bro Neeson. He wasn't able to finish off that Tiger. P4 came to support the Tiger as well. You see the tanks working excellent there. Good combination. Sorry, the Puma, not the P4. The tanks working in great combination there, utilizing their assets together. Bombing run called in. Bombing run lands exactly on MDS. That was the P4, I believe. P4 has been killed, so a good bombing run there. I imagine the P4 was probably had its engine disabled, called in a bombing run and got it down. Less than 10 minutes on the board, though. It's not looking good. And with almost a 100 ticket lead now for Coalition Francophone. You can see artillery coming in on the camp, not getting any kills, ineffective artillery. Again, this is another playstyle that these teams like to do in competitive. You can see there's actually only 2 people on defense in the capture zone. The whole team for the defenders is on the attack. This is what you will see these high-level competitive teams do. They never stack on the cap. They only ever have a handful of people on the cap unless it's being neutralized, in which case the whole team rallies back to the point. Coalition Francophone have done an excellent job of demonstrating why you should always be offensive. Never just sit back and wait for your enemy to attack you. Always go on the offensive. The Sherman taken out as well. Piper also, I believe that would have been Piper again, utilizing that nearby MSP. It was the MSP that was hidden by Mamad, I believe. Yeah, you can see that German MSP hidden there right behind the enemy lines. Allowing the AT to just keep getting behind the tanks as they roll out of the main base. Sweet Kisses and Brand Power. Having a nice little country drive, you know. Nice little drive in the sun, late evening. But KGK very thin. They've been pushed out of the north. They've been pushed out of the west. With time running out less than 8 minutes, I don't think we're going to see KGK break this solid French defense. Coalition Francophone once again showing why they are the masters of defense. Piper alive again, looking to get a Cromwell kill now. Panzerschreck in hand. Will this be his 4th tank kill? Cromwell trying to move forward. A miss there by Piper, and the Cromwell with a beautiful double kill there, saving its own neck. Luckily, Staghound has coming out now, using that speed, mobility. Maybe just try to drive and harass around the point. We've actually got a transport vehicle here from KGK, just driving as close to the cap as possible, dropping off a small squad. Storm with a couple of infantry getting into the cap. Staghound driving by, doing a drive-by. See, KGK have actually broken through onto the cap. They have been taken out. There's more transport vehicles coming in, throwing everything they have now with time running out. Yellow with a truck. Nearby rallies, everything they have. They're throwing anything they have in these last minutes 6 minutes left. They know they need to do something. Cromwell could do with pushing forward as well. But look at this for Coalition Francophone. They only had a couple of defenders on the cap. But they're being utilized well. Another transport truck dropping off. And a big grenade there. All hands on deck at this point for KGK. Throwing whatever they have onto the cap. Cromwell trying to support it the best it can. Heroic effort by KGK. But it's not going to be enough. And Coalition Francophone dropping a perfectly placed 4-round artillery barrage. Took out all those transport vehicles and the one rally that was up. Only Northern is alive from that YOLO Leroy attack there. Tiger arriving on scene. Time less than 5 minutes. I think we just saw KGK's last attempt, last real attempt. Piper trying to get another tank kill. He disabled one MSP. He fired a shot into the back of the Cromwell. The Cromwell's now face on with the Tiger, but it doesn't matter. Piper gets his next kill. There's an abandoned MSP next to him that no doubt he's going to go finish off as well. MSP goes down. And I think KGK might be throwing up the flags here. They might be about to call GG to Coalition Francophone, and they might just try to conserve tickets. Remember, there's still a second match to play. If KGK can hold on the defense, they have a chance to still win if they do better on the tickets difference. You see the mortar Mamard again. Mamard again on Clem, taking out KGK's mortars. KGK have nothing left apart from a big push coming in from the south. With less than 3 minutes, I don't think they'll even make it into the cap on time. Never mind make it to the cap and also break through the defenders. But again, it's not over. KGK have shown they're very strong on the defense as well. If they can hold Coalition Francophone on the defense, just like Coalition Francophone have done here with KGK, they still have a chance of winning this. Both teams get a chance on the attack and the defense. Trigger goes down there to Captain Lip. As this very long run is the only option left for KGK at this point. We've had a few GGs have been called in chat. It's at the 2-minute mark. GGs are being said in chat. If you're wondering why GGs are said in chat at the 2-minute mark, it's in regular play. It takes at least 2 minutes to capture a zone unless your commander is on the cap, in which case your commander speeds it up by a vast amount. So usually at the 2-minute mark, people say GG's because that's the usual amount it takes to take a cap without utilizing your commander bonus. We got a P3 on scene now. Sorry, a P3. A P38. Is it a P30? A T38? And that will be GG for the first match. What a first match, though, chat. To those watching on Twitch, what do you feel after this first match? How do you feel after this first match? And do you think KGK have a chance on the defense? And what do you think KGK could have done a little bit better, a little bit different, so this match would have gone a different way? And that is the first match played. YouTube, I hope you enjoyed. Coalition Francophone was very strong in the defense. They've shown why they have a clean streak. As always, YouTube, there's going to be a second part to this uploaded. But until then, remember to like, remember to subscribe, and I will see you next time, YouTube.